A quick disclaimer for this video. This is probably the weirdest thing I've ever built. Ah, that was a mistake. How the hell do we make this work? Enjoy. I am back from all my travels with my new suitcase, and here's the verdict. I have good news and bad news. Good news is it completely works. I used it as a checked luggage and I used it as hand luggage and I had zero complaints. Bad news, this piece broke. So I am not giving up. I thought there must be a way to fix this because wheels on the suitcase are always a little bit shitty unless you buy the super expensive ones. But I have an idea to build something that replaces the wheels altogether. But first, let's engrave the suitcase. Where do we do it? Nice. Okay. Let's fix that problem. What's better than wheels? Obviously, a hovercraft. I had this idea while I was dragging this through the rain, thinking, I wish wheels weren't so annoying. I mean, yes, they broke, but also wheels in general are annoying because there are these really expensive suitcase wheels, but they are really expensive, so problem number one. And also, this suitcase is so ridiculous. Why stop at the wheels? Let's make it even more ridiculous. And since I was dragging it through the puddles, I was thinking a hovercraft can go over land and water. And wouldn't that be freaking amazing just to try it? So let's try to turn this suitcase into a hovercraft so I can travel in style again. Hovercraft. Like there are these big air cushion boats. This looks like a UFO. It is a boat, I promise. There's this like tarp thing or fabric and air gets blown into that and there are little holes, or it's like semi-permeable, if that's the right word, so the air can escape, which means this whole thing is just gliding on a cushion of air. But they can also go over grass and crocodiles. It sounds very complicated, but I think it could be very easy. We just need a tarp, some plywood, and a leaf blower. And then technically we should be able to build this. Famous last words. The first tricky thing is that this surface is very small. It will be very tippy. So I think what we should unlearn what we know about suitcases, that they are upright when they travel. And I think the trick to do it is to have it like this. That gives us the bigger surface for the air cushion. And also, if this works, we don't need that anymore. So the telescope thing can go too for now. I think if it works, we can just have a string and just pull it, you know, like a sled. Or what is also very likely to happen, I traveled with a hovercraft one time and then I'm so embarrassed because it's so loud that I go back to using wheels. But for now, we're not looking for a practical solution. We're looking for the most fun solution. This will be the bottom. It's also good. I got a lot of comments that people were worried about this not being watertight on the one side. So this construction will make it watertight. Great. I mean, if it's laying there, is that the right size? Oh my God, look at that, Sam. Look at this, it's the exact same width. We have to use it. It's decided. Okay, plywood, then we need the tarp around it. And then we make some holes. I don't know yet how, but we'll figure it out. And then the leaf blower needs to be somewhere here. Next step, before we do anything else, is get a leaf blower because I don't have it. That's something we have to buy. And then we can proceed. Leaf blower and tarp. Ooh, they're big though. They're big. So they have leaf blowers here, but they're so big because the form factor needs to fit in the suitcase. So that's not gonna work. Okay, is
And
it?
It's this right here.
Okay.
And I can show you the box if you want to take
Oh
a
yeah,
look.
that would be amazing, yeah.
That's it. Boom.
Yeah.
That's how big it is.
That's amazing.
Little baby. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, probably only need this part. We can cut this off. That's great. Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Awesome.
Let's test it. I thought it was more. I don't know. I thought it was much stronger. Is there a setting here? It's also so ridiculously loud. Can you imagine going through the airport and then you're in a line for TSA and it's like, so dumb. It's gonna be a challenge, man. It's gonna be hard. How the hell do we make this work? Ah! I already have doubts about this. Why did you come up with this stupid idea, Sam? Okay. The money is spent. Let's just commit. We can make something. First of all, the form factor. This is all dumb. This will never fit into the suitcase. If we're lucky, we can fit this into the suitcase. So, let's open it. Jesus, they're tight. This is the moment in the project, in every project, I always have this, where I think, maybe I should do another idea. Maybe this is not working. Like I'm losing the confidence, and I'm also kind of losing the steam. It would be so easy not to do it. And I find the best way to overcome this feeling of, maybe it doesn't work, maybe, let's just do something else, is to void the guarantee of a tool that costs $109. Then you kind of have to keep going. So I'm cornering myself into committing. Okay, power. This is the electronics. And then it's the fan. It's just this shoveling it out, right? So all of this, that is, what is that? Is this a setting to make it go stronger? This was not accessible from the outside. Whoa. Is that true? We found, no shit, we found a hidden switch that makes it go stronger. What? This is just a success as is. Like, this is so fucking cool. Let's put it together and watch it fly away. Okay. So this is the setting it came with. This is our setting. And there's a medium setting too. And that's the reason, that's the setting of reason, which we're not gonna use, of course. All right, amazing. I did not see this coming. I was so disappointed. This is so fucking cool. This is why you should take apart everything. Does this come off? Nice. Okay, now this can all stay together and we can work on this. We need this part for the motor, but 4 screws hold this thing in place, so we can completely cut all of this off. This goes on to this. Oh, it comes with different nozzles. That might be useful. I mean, we're not gonna have this on, to be honest, though. Okay, normal setting, secret setting. Insane. Okay, great. We will build a new housing for all of this, and we will need a new switch. But the way this is set up is fantastic. Okay, trickier is placement of the blower. Let's be brave and cut the cord. We can replace it later. Because I don't want to mess with this, so let's put this in a safe space and then we figure out the placement for this. Wait, we can't do it like this because it does need the air intake. So maybe this would be the best way to do it. We give it a hole to the outside, and then we need some sort of flexible hose to redirect the air to where we want it to be. It is a big spatial commitment, but who cares? It's a Hovercraft suitcase. So let's figure out the Hovercraft part of this. I think the good news is that we can build the Hovercraft kind of independently and make it work without the suitcase. And once we have this figured out, we can figure out the placement and how to put it all together. But let's get the dimensions right. Cut this off, round over the corners. I found this drawing online because I was looking for Hovercraft plans hole placement, and I found this highly specific drawing that kind of tells me it's all gonna be fine. It does not seem to be rocket science as long as we have kind of like a donut shape and then some holes. And we have so much tarp that I think we should try to just go by gut feel, and if it doesn't work, try something else. Do that a couple times. If none of this works, we can go look for a plan, but I love figuring it out myself. So, tarp. Okay, now we want a little bit of cushion. How do we do the corners? Just like this? Probably, right? Double-sided tape. I just don't know how we calculate how much fluff it needs, you know? Ah, damn it. We should have done the hole first, because now it's going to be hard to drill without puncturing the tarp. Ah, that was a mistake. Why did I start with the tape? Okay, from what I understand, if this is our kind of the no blow zone, right, where we don't want the tarp to expand, then the intake here, now I did it all in the wrong order. Now I need to know what diameter. And I have this piece of hose that we can use as an adapter to go like this. So we need to find the hose so we know how big this hole is. It's part of the dust collection, but I think if we cut a little bit off, the dust collection won't mind. Do we have a hole saw that is coincidentally, I think it's not gonna get better than this. Unless we go super small and file it. What's the biggest Forstner we have? It's gonna be a little bit of filing, but maybe it's better to sneak up on it, and then we have less issues with sealing it. And it's just wood, we can file it. It's just gonna make the tape dirty, but worst case is we just do a new layer of tape, it doesn't matter. That's what I wanted to avoid. It's good tape. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, okay, you know what? This was stupid. Let's just not make this a problem. Yay, look at that. That's good. Now we're ready for the tarp, right? Yeah, okay, let's cut the tape again. I have zero idea how much fluff we'll need, so I'm just eyeballing this. Actually, for something that has to do with air, I don't think you should say eyeballing, I think you should say nose-holing. We're nose-holing this. Have like something in the center. You know what, maybe we just try, maybe a line of staples is enough for now to test it. And then put a, I would be so surprised if that was enough, if that would work, but let's see what it does. Unfortunately, now we have to connect these again. Oh, and it needs holes. Where do we place the holes? What did the drawing say? It doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem like it has to be very precise, does it? I would think for holes, they probably want to be more towards the inside, because if they are on the outside, then there's a chance that it just blows to the side. We want it to blow up. So if this is thirds, to put them here. Ha! Maybe it would be better to do the holes just like this, just like little X's. Okay. There's no way for us to know unless we try it. We're gonna need a longer extension of these cords, so we might as well do that now. I have these really cool connectors. I don't know what they are called, but it is shrink tubing. And then there's this little solder thing in the middle. And when you heat it with a air gun, like hot air, it solders the cables together. I don't know what they're called, but they're very, very useful. I think this, I'm just gonna use wing nuts for now because it's temporary. And once we know the switch situation and everything, we can work on a more permanent connection. I'm a little bit worried about this situation, but for now I'm just gonna use tape to connect the hose temporarily. Please. Oh wow. Let's take the... Okay, that's the conservative setting. Okay, we're not there yet, but it does make a good cushion. And it turns out the conservative setting, at least without weight on it, is probably enough. I mean, that's cool. It lifts it up. I think the holes are wrong. Let's work on the hole placement. Holes. Okay, so on sciencebuddies.org, they built a hovercraft and they say the holes should be 2 inches. I mean, I don't know how big their thing is, so, but way bigger than we have. And the kicker is they're all the way to the inside. Maybe my first instinct was more right than it is now. So maybe bigger, more to the inside, but let's experiment. And once we know what it needs to do, we can make a nice new tarp if we wanted to. Okay, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. We can either do More holes or bigger holes? I think we should try bigger holes. Yeah, this works much better. My concern is, even though we found the secret switch, that it might not be strong enough to carry the suitcase. But there's only one way to find out. We need to assemble it. But I'm also, two things. I'm worried about this. I think it would be a good time to put this in a stable container so we don't lose any connections here that we can't figure out. And I think the only variable we have is the placement of the holes and the size of the holes. So we might as well reassemble everything, put everything where it goes. And if that doesn't work, go back to changing the outline of the holes. And it seems that the gaff tape doesn't make a difference. So I think we have a couple more tries of just covering the holes up, cutting new ones before we have to take it all apart and replace it. But I think that might be the better way to approach this, because we only have an answer if this really works once the suitcase weight is on there. So, quick montage of figuring out all the electronics, placement of the thing, and then we do some more tests. Okay. Last finishing touches. I am aware that there is no more room for clothes in this suitcase. I am aware of that. This build is not about that. This is not a practical thing. This is me having a silly idea and seeing if I can actually make it work. So here we go. Look at this. I'm pretty proud of the battery connection because this is solid. And that was one of the things that in my mind would be pretty hard to do, to have a reliable click-in solution for the battery. Then the power goes, I didn't mess with all of this. I just extended the cords. Then I zip tied the trigger, and this can all be tucked away safely. And then the trigger again is zip tied, so bypassed. So this will trigger the whole thing to go off. But first we have to pack that little bit that I can actually bring with me. I actually brought the heaviest jeans I have to make this a realistic thing. So this is a carry-on. Again, this is a carry-on. So it's not, I'm not gonna use it to travel for 2 weeks. Maybe we can, yeah, we can fit a hoodie. Okay, there's actually a little bit more room. So carry on, yeah? This should just be a book and a laptop and, you know, pajama or something. Easy. Easy. Close.
Easy, eh?
Wait, why is it? Wait, okay, there's a little seat here. This should close. There we go. Why am I so nervous? Okay. As you see, I redid this. We have a little bit of wiggling room with that, but let's see what it does. Fully packed. Okay, you ready? Yeah. What the? No way! It just keeps going!
That goes far.
Okay. This is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever built. What? Okay, let's take it outside. Yeah, it works. If it's just on a leash, which is gonna be how I'm using this, no problem. Oh, there's water.
This is so dumb.
I don't even know which setting we're on right now. So we have access to a power button. Let's go middle.
Holy crap.
Maybe it's even better.
That went far.
Let's go on the lowest setting. Lowest. Is it that one? I mean, noise-wise, this wouldn't even be embarrassing. Maybe if we had a slightly better weight distribution. Oh my god, more weight makes it better. Okay,
Oh, wow.
I take it back.
Holy. Oh, it's going.
This is the lowest setting. It's still going. It's going on its own. Where you want to go? If you take a little bit time packing, what? I don't believe this, Sam.
Oh, wow.
This would not be embarrassing to travel with.
No, it's really quiet. I could barely hear it in the microphones.
Okay, this is an invention. Look at that. It is easier. What?
Just traveling with some weights.
I mean, if you just put your charger there or an extra battery, if you consider the weight distribution and put a book or something to the top to offset the blower, just one little tuck, I would do that. I would travel like that. No fucking
Oh my
way.
God, this looks hilarious.
How is it possible that less air makes this work better? That's crazy. I think this is an invention. Smudo, you're blocking my moment. You're stealing my thunder again. You're stealing my thunder. Wo ist deine Leine? Yeah. How is it possible? This is so cool. Now in this lower setting, would you travel with this? Because I think I would. And I think I could use this if my kid, wants to go to the park, see how long the battery life is. But then again, we also want a little bit more weight in it, So we can bring 3 batteries and she can tow all of her toys to the playground or like a lemonade stand, or she can just probably sit in it. This is wild. That is a project full of surprises. Whoa! Success in my book. As always, what should we call it? What's the name? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I will play with this all day long now.
Wow. I mean, why not? What the fuck, Laura?
It can drive over water. The next thing we should test, which is the biggest problem with wheels, if you have ever seen a shopping cart, is a bunch of hair. No, we're not going to do that. This week's video is brought to you by Squarespace. It doesn't matter if you are a pro at building websites or if you are, like me, a complete beginner. Squarespace is a great product for you if you are interested in building a website. And not only a website that has a newsletter system or that has an online store integrated, or like in my case, a simple website that just gives you a way to reach out to me in case you saw some cool stuff on the streets of LA or anywhere. You can shoot me a message, go like, hey, janitor of LA, I saw an old gumball machine on the corner of this and that, and I can go and check it out. This website that you just saw, I built in a couple minutes, even though I have zero experience with building websites, because they offer really intuitive and well-designed templates. For example, if you want to make a website for a wedding, they have a category wedding and you can click through different designs that you like and then customize it with your own personality and flavor. Upload your own photos, pick your own colors, pick your own font, whatever you want to do, Squarespace will let you do it. My next step is going to be the integration of a little online store because I kind of want to sell these hats. I am scared to do it, but since my experience with building the website was so positive, I'm pretty sure that I can do it. So maybe in a couple weeks, you can order a Janitor of LA hat or, hold on, these cool little patches. If you're interested in building your own website, go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And once you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/LauraKampf and get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank Squarespace for supporting my work. And I will see you next week with a new video. Bye.